Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from www.tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is your weekly astrological reading. This is for the week beginning the 20th through to the 26th. So today I'm going to be using a deck that I rarely use, which is the Earth Magic deck by Stephen D. Farmer. And the cards are really interesting that showed up for this week. I'm gonna show you them all together, like just one by one. The first card is DNA Karma. The next card is Clouds Shapeshifter. And then the third one is Passion. And what I'm really feeling is coming through these cards is something that I've been noticing with a lot of people. A lot of people are going through their own ascension process, and a lot of us are growing really fast spiritually, and it's like a lot of us are having spiritual awakenings. And I think that this reading is almost indicating that spiritual awakening, because when I look at this DNA card, it's almost like, and because it's like attached to karma, it's almost like saying that even though our DNA is supposed to indicate who, what type of, features we're supposed to have, our genes and all that other stuff, it's almost like saying that we are going to go beyond what it is that we are supposed to be based on any kind of biology, because through spirit we can surpass everything that has to do with the physical realm. But again, it's like our karma is something that we also have an influence over. And sometimes, which is interesting with this card, is like when you think about karma, when you think about DNA, these are things that we think to ourselves, well, we can't change. But at the end of the day, it's not about really changing anything. It's not about changing, your physical self. It's not even about changing your karma. It's about the choices that you choose to make, and what is it that you want to do. Where do you want your life to go? You have to be the one to determine these things. And so there's ways that you can surpass expectations. You can you don't have to live your life by a blueprint or a structure that you feel is that you're supposed to live by. It's almost like, for instance, sometimes you can get people that kind of either have an idea that if their family was a particular way, and maybe because of however they were raised, they feel like that's the person that they are. They're just, their mother's child or their father's child. But you're so much more than that, because you're an individual person. And regardless of what background you've come from, whether it's been you had a really tough upbringing or whether you had the best of upbringings, it all depends on yourself, particularly when you become an older person. It depends on you in terms of how you tend to manage things, and what kind of life you want to live. And so to me, what this card is really indicating is that we don't have to feel that our life is sort of predisposed to certain events or certain circumstances just because of past situations, or who we were raised by, or even our DNA structure. We can be what we want to be. And it's like, who's to say that you can't do extraordinary things with your life? Who's to say that you should be limited in any kind of way? Of course, we are three-dimensional beings, and so therefore there might be some physical limitations, but at the same time, it's, to me, we shouldn't even let the physical limitations that we know about restrict us so much that we feel that we can't surpass whatever boundaries, whatever even blockages that we seem to experience. Because right now, if this is about standing in your truth, and it's about you really showing up the person that you truly are supposed to be, because that is what we're supposed to be developing, and that's what we're supposed to be working towards. When we talk about consciousness, it's about, who are you really? What is your true essence? Really, none of these things that make up your identity is really you. You're so much more than that. You're so much more special than whatever identity you think that you have, whatever label you attach to yourself. Like, for instance, I could turn around and say, well, I'm a black woman, and, this is my natural hair, this is makeup that I've decided to put on my face. All of these things are just, they're just shallow, because it's all about just the outward appearance. And really, your body, again, is just a physical self, and there's so much more dimensions to your character, dimensions to who you are, than just any of these physical or material attachments that we tend to have to things, in this physical world. And so, to me, it's almost like saying that this card is speaking of that spiritual understanding that we're gaining within ourselves, and the wisdom and the understanding that we're beginning to have as people. And so we might even be finding that our kundalini is rising, and so this is our opportunity again to be enlightened, and to really see and really show up as the people that we're supposed to be, and to have really a clear vision in terms of that higher understanding and our higher purpose, connecting with our higher selves, so that we can, again, it's about looking at things from that kind of higher perspective, and not looking at things from such a sort of an earthbound perspective. So yeah, I feel like these cards are just they're really showing this kind of change that we're going through, because then you have clouds and the shapeshifter, and again, like, it's sort of a similar message that I'm seeing in this card. It's a message of you transforming. Again, if you think of the idea of shape shifting, it's like morphing from one being to another, one creature to another. And most people would say, well, is that even possible to do? But of course it's possible to do. You have the ability to do so much. But I think really the thing that really holds us back as human beings is just our mindset a lot of the time. And it's almost like saying that we sort of need to free our minds from any kind of things that can potentially make us think that we're not in control of our lives, and we don't have the ability to make our lives what we want it to be. Like, when you look at clouds, when you are outside and you look up in the sky, and you see sort of the clouds making different shapes, and sometimes they may look like something, like they may look like an animal or something, and then it morphs into something else. It's almost showing that we have so many um we just have so many different aspects of self, and in that, especially as we grow and evolve and we learn more, we're changing all the time. Like, change is a natural process, and it's like these cards are talking about a spiritual change, a change that is going to be taking place, where you are going to be the shapeshifter. You're going to be transforming your own self, and you're transforming yourself into that better version of you, so that you're able to really, again, be able to surpass limitations in your life, be able to see things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. And with this transformation, these shifts that are taking place, is leading us to live a life that is going to be filled with passion more passion, more of doing what we want to do, more of doing what makes us excited, makes us happy, gives us joy. That's why it's so funny. Today I saw this post on Facebook, and it had this little cat on the caption, and the cat was like, oh, do I drive to my crappy job, or do I go all the way across country and live a new life? And it was funny to me, because I thought to myself, I think that is honestly what is making so many people decide upon leaving certain jobs, leaving certain aspects of life behind, and searching for a greater sense of happiness and a greater sense of fulfillment in their life, searching for greater meaning and understanding. And that's why a lot of people, like, are starting to do are starting to create businesses where they can be located anywhere, where they can travel and do all these things, and sort of just be free from it all. And again, it's like, I think that that's really what we are all searching for. I think we're all searching for that sense of freedom that we're just sort of not really getting in our lives. The ability to be able um say, okay, do you know what, if I really do want to just move across country, why can't I just do that? Why can't I just um pick up and start a brand new life, be a brand new person somewhere else? Of course you can do that, but again, it's about following that instinct that makes you get up and go and actually put it into action, versus just sort of saying, okay, maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'm not sure. I, what would I do if I left my job? What would I do if I left the place I live in? Then you start to doubt yourself, and then it just doesn't happen. And I'm not trying to say in this reading that people should just, you know, ditch their lives altogether. I'm just saying that there's so many desires that people have that go unfulfilled. And you think to yourself, imagine all the dreams and the wishes and the desires that you have in your life right now. And imagine that all of those wishes, all of those dreams, imagine that they existed somewhere in the heavens. This life that you wanted is there with everything that you hoped for. And imagine what it would be like to experience that for yourself. It's like, wouldn't you want to bring that reality down into material form if it existed somewhere else already? Because we have to understand that that's how manifestation works. When you have an idea about something, it's because it's already existing in the higher planes. So imagine if you wanted that amazing house, if you wanted that, that house by the beach, and I don't want to sound really materialistic, because not everything that we want to manifest are material things, but sometimes we just want to be happier, and that's really what it comes down to. It's not even about the material things, but it's just about the happiness that we feel. And so imagine that there is a you existing somewhere else that is entirely happy, like maybe in a different dimension someplace. It's like, why can't that be you? Why can't that be you? Why can't you have the experience that you want to in your life? Why can't you follow your dreams, your passions? And so I'm almost feeling like these cards are also speaking to somebody that is finally going to decide to follow their passion. And the reason why they're doing that is because, again, they're receiving this sort of quantum leap in their life, in their spirituality, that is making them shift, is making them change. And because they're changing, they're saying, "Do you know what, I'm going to do what really makes me happy, what really is in alignment with who I am as a person." And then under the cards, the last card on the deck is Gaia, nurturing. And what this card is saying is, you have to nurture yourself. You have to nurture your ideas. You have to nurture those dreams. You have to nurture anything that you want to grow and develop and thrive. It has to be nurtured in order for it to turn into something tangible. So it's sort of saying, don't think that the opportunities are just gonna, yeah, opportunities actually can just come to you. Sometimes you're not even searching for opportunities, it just shows up. But it's also saying that you have to be able to put in that work to make it really turn into something. And so, but at the same time, I feel that where you're growing and changing and developing spiritually, it's going to take your life in a new direction. And with this new direction, you're going to have to sort of nurture that new life that is coming in, because of the fact that you are going through this process to be able to create something really new in terms of your life and the direction is heading in. So, peace and blessings to you. I'll see you guys. Bye.